I got the job leading the Ukrainian-Danish Youth House in the end of 2020, right when COVID was closing down the world in Denmark, where I was living. I got this opportunity, and of course then I was thinking, this is such a constructive project. We're going to support young people. That is such a good story. What can possibly go wrong? The first day at work, I remember I got a stack of papers that said, this is the project description. Here you go. And it was like 100 pages of what we were supposed to do, and that was all there was. And I was the only employee. And now these papers have turned into 2 youth houses in Ukraine, one in Kyiv and one in Mykolaiv, 17 staff members, and we have all these activities that engage young people all over Ukraine and also in Denmark. So I had lived in Ukraine for almost a year when I got evacuated just before the start of the full-scale invasion. In the beginning of the full-scale invasion, there was full chaos and full panic, and honestly, the first few weeks I was never sure if my colleagues were even alive, because we had lost track of where people were. Many fled from their homes to live somewhere else. Then they came back later. Some people moved abroad. So I started traveling to Ukraine again physically in February 2023, so 1 year after the full-scale invasion and 1 year after my own evacuation. So the first trip I did, and I was standing on the train station and I was looking at this very big Ukrainian train that's blue and yellow. And I was thinking, when I step into this train, there is actually no way for me to get out of this train before I am in the middle of a war-torn country. And I have never worked in this kind of situation before. I was not afraid, I think, because I had spent a lot of time preparing, but I had this hyper-awareness, I think you can say, because your body is very aware that this is a different situation and it might be dangerous. So I think I did not sleep as much in the night trains then as I do now. So I feel I've been living a bit in this train. It's almost like a second home, this night train, going back and forth. So the youth house we have in Kyiv, it's located in the center, like in the outskirts of the old town. So it's on a hill overlooking the Dnieper River and next to one of these very famous, beautiful churches, pastel colored with golden domes, and next to one of the big parks and the National History Museum. Everybody feels that since the war started, the importance of this work has just increased, because before we were talking about, the importance of having a youth organization and a cultural life that's active, but now it's like, it's not only as a principle or like some sort of philosophical concept that it's important. It's important for survival. It's important for the survival of the Ukrainian nation and for maintaining some sort of peace in Ukraine, but also in Europe. And that makes it so much more concrete. And that also means that people feel very strongly about this, and we keep pushing despite the challenges. Going forward, I will probably travel a little bit less, but it's because I will be placed in Kyiv more permanently, so I will be full-time in Kyiv, and that also means that I much easier can travel to Mykolaiv and be there with the new youth house that we just opened there, and be present with my colleagues and actually with the young people that we're working with.